So how do we find happiness in this crazy world? I mean, there's all kinds of insanity going on, from the presidential election to the wars overseas to inflation to the pandemic. I just heard something about COVID having a return, whatever. I don't watch the news, so I'm not always that informed. But how do we find happiness in this insane world when everything seems to be turned upside down? Attitudes suck. People are angrier than ever, more impatient than ever. And you're sitting here going, how do I create a space of joy, of happiness? David Essel here. For 45 years, this is all I've done, the work of personal growth, and I love it all. I'll never forget an interview I did in the 90s with a guy named Bear Kaufman and his wife. They wrote a book, Happiness is a Choice. Even though it's written in the 90s, it's a worthwhile read. And they talk about having a very difficult life in their home. I won't get into specifics. I don't want to spoil the story. And the end result of it was amazing. It's a powerful book, and it does prove that happiness is a choice. So when you can look at me in the eyes and say, David, but you don't understand. You know, I'm going through a divorce and I've got 3 kids and blah, 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 blah. How can I be happy? There's no way I can be happy. David, I just lost my job. And you're looking at me saying that happiness is a choice? Why don't you get in my shoes? You know, I can understand everyone having an objection to that statement, happiness is a choice. But I'm also going to tell you that statement is true. If you're waiting for something to happen to be happy, the odds are you're going to be waiting a long time. And if you're waiting for something to happen and it happens and it makes you happy, the odds are it's not going to stay around. Because sitting on our hands and waiting for life to change, the world to change, the wars to stop, the pandemic to stop, the presidential insanity to stop, we're just wasting our time. And you cannot find happiness in the news. You guys, if you follow me at all, you know I'm encouraging everyone to stay off the damn news. There's no happiness in the news, and it's not worth it. It fills your brain with all kinds of disgusting ideas, thoughts, figures, all kinds of blame, all kinds of pointing fingers. There's no happiness in the news, ladies and gentlemen. So we have to create. How do we create happiness in this insane world? Let's start off in the morning. The way you start your day is crucial. Waking up without the phone, without the computer, without anything whatsoever for the first 1 hour. 1 hour electric free. Electronics gone for the first hour every day is the first step to happiness. Well, let me say the second step to happiness. The first step is cancel the news. The second step, when you wake up, understand this. You know, what the Buddhists say to do is when you wake up, instantly put a smile on your face for 60 seconds, which releases endorphins like dopamine from the brain to help you awaken even more so. When you wake up in the morning, make a comment to yourself. I'm going to be happy today. I'm going to look for a way to help others be happy. Hey, it's one of the reasons I started our movement, Look to Lift Others, at TalkDavid.com. Look to Lift Others is all about happiness. There are so many stories, and there's more being added today. I think we have like 4 or 5 more stories being added today. Go and read them all. They are filled with happiness because they're stories of people helping other people in need. And it brings a smile to your face. And some people have written that they have tears reading some of these stories, right? But they're tears of joy, tears of happiness. So we need to be looking at a couple things here. You know, we need to get rid of the news, right? All that kind of stuff. We need to look at who we hang around with. Are they uplifting or not? We need to look at, what are we listening to? What are we reading? What are we watching? Are they uplifting or not? See, so much of happiness is a choice. If you surround yourself with complaining people, it's going to be tough to be happy. If you surround yourself with news, it'll be very tough to be happy. If you surround yourself with music or YouTube videos or anything else that is not mood lifting, it's going to be very difficult to be happy. The last thing I'm going to mention in regards to happiness, that it is a choice, is your self-care. The greater the self-care program, exercise, nutrition, proper sleep, release of all addictions, you're going to find a level of happiness that you've never possibly found in your life. You know, when I got sober a very, very long time ago, it took a year. I had to work hard for a year because it was a struggle. After that year, happiness became my running mate because I didn't have the slowness in the mornings. I didn't have the hangovers on weekends. I didn't have all that insanity. And when you let go of the insanity, the people that are insane, the habits you have that are insane, all that kind of stuff, whatever you watch that's insane, happiness has a choice to come in. And then the final step is to create a list of things that make you happy. going to the beach maybe, going to bed early, staying in on a Friday night. And I'm being really serious, right? Going fishing, whatever it is. Write down a list of what makes you happy and make sure you're doing at least one or two of those things every week. Maybe go to a movie every Saturday, every Wednesday, whatever it might be. Find ways, because it's up to you to be happy. No one can make us happy. It's an inside job. If you need help, go to talkdavid.com. We've been helping people get out of addictions and get out of craziness and into the world of happiness for 45 years. I'd love to help you. Everything's at talkdavid.com. Have a great day.